Good morning, LinkedIn family. It's time for another Coffee with Bob, and today I'm very excited to introduce you all to a new contact of mine, Laura Nutt. We haven't been connected for very long, but I have to say that if you're not connected with Laura, if you're if you're
There we
not
go.
following her or engaging with her, you need to. Her posts are filled with such positivity. They're very uplifting. I just love your posts, Laura. I really do. I mean,
Thank you.
it's refreshing. And you know what I really love too? I love the way that you use and quote scripture. I think that is
Okay.
I think that is a very positive thing to do.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm definitely very rooted in my faith, and I understand that not everybody shares that same faith, but we do all share human principles of humility, love, trust, resiliency, things like that. So my whole goal is really just to empower people and just encourage people to be the best versions of themselves. And so my posts are out there to do that, and it's so wonderful to hear that it resonates with yourself and so many. Thank
Oh,
you.
it does. I've actually not really plagiarized you, but I've actually copy and pasted.
Really?
Well, I've copy and pasted your posts onto a couple of them onto a Word doc, and then I print them and I put them on my office wall because they're that
They should go on
interesting.
the fridge. I'd be so
Well,
excited.
we have so much stuff on our fridge; it's not even funny.
Okay, fine. Maybe one day I will be on the fridge and then I'll be happy.
That's next. That's next.
Yes.
So you're a counselor, right?
I am. So I'm kind of a jack of all trades and master of all none. I'm not afraid to admit that. I am a licensed professional counselor supervisor. I've been doing that for about 7 years now. I've also kind of ventured out into some new areas. So I'm actually starting a podcast called Face Squared. So you'll get to see and hear me as well as the written word. And that's just based off of taking a tragedy to a triumph, what unites us as humans, and not just those rah-rah moments, but just those real nitty gritty, dirty moments that bring us from a tough place to the champions that we truly are. So that's a new venture I'm definitely doing. I'm also writing a book. Oh my gosh, poems. And I'm also venturing out into kind of holistic life coaching. So not just the mental health component, but also the physical health, how mental health impacts that, spiritual health, and really just an overall way to have a healthier and wealthier life in general.
Awesome. So wait, let's talk about that podcast for a minute. That
Oh,
sounds
okay. All
interesting.
right. No,
So
let's not speed by that. Let's rewind back to that one.
we'll go back to the other stuff. So how did the name come? Explain the name again to me.
Sure. So the name of it is Faith Squared. And the reason I chose the phrase faith squared is because faith is a loaded term. Now, for me and my faith, that is one faith, but faith could mean anything. It could be from a spiritual component. It could be from just putting, faith there, because faith is really a belief that something better could happen, like hope.
Hmm.
It's, faith that something better is going to happen or another outcome is possible. So that could mean faith in yourself. That could mean faith in the universe, in faith in an event, in other people, your family, in a deity if you believe in one, whatever it may be. But we've all had those moments where we felt faithless and we felt hopeless, and we didn't know which direction to turn. We didn't know where to go or what to
Hmm.
do. And so I want to amplify that to say those moments of our humanity, our raw humanity, are what connect us and help empower us, because it's really just storytelling. And that's what Faith Squared is all about. It's just saying moments where I felt faithless to where my faith squared exponentially, because I was able to overcome such difficulty. And now I can utilize that to help and give back to others.
Awesome. That's incredible. I mean, especially during these really crazy times. I mean, not only are we dealing with a pandemic and, being virtually shut in, right?
Yes.
And shut in for the last 6 months, but now I got a crazy election coming up. I mean, it's a lot of negativity out there right now. That's awesome.
Absolutely. Thank
So
you so much.
have you started it yet? Have you got an episode out there?
This is where it's always so fun. I'm like, no, like there's so much promotion, but no, it hasn't happened. I'm actually going to start recording next week. I have a good solid guest list, got the logo, everything is pretty much ready to launch. It was just, we were moving. And so it was life situations kind of put it on hold for a
Sure.
second. So I was like, can we please just hurry up and do this? Because I know people people need this. Like you were
Yeah.
saying, there's already enough negativity in the world. I mean, we need more positivity, and I want to also provide a platform for people who feel unheard. I'm the person pulling, going to get in chairs, bringing more people to let their voices be heard, because I don't like the thought of some people are oppressed and silenced and muffled. I mean, it's not about that. It's about
Right.
amplifying and valuing every single voice. And so I want to get it out there. I want to hear anybody and everybody's story. I mean, I don't care whether you think it's the Hollywood movie story or if it's just the simple, basic. I got my first B when I was in high school, and that upset me. But all the stories are just as valuable. So I am definitely an open book. I would love to hear it, and I'm excited to open up that platform for anyone who's interested.
Awesome. All right. So when you launch it, please let me know, and
I
I'm going to
will.
post about it for sure. And I definitely want to
Yay.
subscribe to it. I mean, I think it's gonna be incredible. And not only are you doing a podcast, but now you're finishing up a book. What's the book about?
Yeah, so I'm actually writing, it's an autobiography about my life. I know stimulus value, I look like I've got it all together, but trust me, this is a hot mess, I promise. And just really, I've had a very interesting life. Even starting from the beginning, my mother was not able to physically have children, and it took 10 years for me to
Wow.
come here. And even my birth was traumatic. So I always say I came into this world that didn't want me fighting, and so I'm definitely going to go out fighting. So I've just had a lot of, I guess, what you would call extraordinary experiences is what people have described some of the experiences of my life where I should have been dead, this should have happened, but it
Mhm.
didn't. God intervened, and there was a bigger purpose for me. So I was prompted to write a book about that.
Awesome.
Because you don't realize how, I guess, interesting or how strong your experiences are till you share them, and then you get that deer in headlights look like, oh
Sure.
my God, like that's what you've been through. And so when I started getting that, I was like, okay, this can help people.
Yeah.
This needs to be heard, to empower people to say, hey, somebody may look like they got it all together, but you really don't know what someone's been through, and you can't judge a book by its cover.
Right.
So
Yeah. I agree. I agree 100%. You never judge anyone unless you can walk at least a mile in their shoes, and I guarantee you probably can't,
exactly.
depending on the
Nope,
time.
you can't. All you can do is, try to attempt to get the same type of shoes and just,
Yeah, I
just
agree
listen.
100%. That's awesome. Well, I can't wait for that to come out too. So put me on the list for that as well. Um,
Totally keep you in the loop.
and you're also doing life coaching. How,
I am. Yeah, that's a new venture for me. Being in mental health for so long, it's been really interesting because I've been kind of more in the process oriented, because counseling is about building the relationship and kind of going through the process. And life coaching is kind of fast forward to, okay, I realize what's going on in my life. Now I'm ready to take action. And I'm a very action oriented person. So I think I'm ready to take on that component as opposed to the processing. Not that it's not important, but I just seem to have I guess, more of a tendency to be product oriented. So life
mhm.
coaching really appeals to me. And then with all my experiences, it kind of helps having that background to say, hey, I can process with you, but then I can also move you along, as opposed to staying here. Let's get you to where you want to get to.
Yeah.
Let's not stay here. Your preferred outcome is here. So let's go boom, boom. So it's
So I
interesting
have to
because
ask, how the heck did you
sure.
have time to spend 10 minutes with me?
Well, let's just say God gave me 10 minutes.
There you go.
No, but I make time for what's important, and I felt like, what you were reaching out to me about was important. I felt like this would definitely reach people and speak to people, and that's what I'm all about. I will always, always, always make time for that. I'm
And
never too
that's
busy.
awesome. And I really do. I think your message definitely resonates with me for sure. And I know your message resonates with a lot of others that I'm connected with. Rachel Beck being one of them. I think she's commented on you a few times, and she's another person that's filled with so much positivity.
She
Just
is.
love it. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
spending time with me. I really appreciate it. We definitely have to do this again.
Oh, absolutely. I would love to. I'm loving this coffee. Yes, I'm ready for round two. Let's do espresso next time.
Very good. Sounds awesome. Thank you again. Have
Thank
a great
you.
day. Bye.
You too.